It's hard to forget, like John Sterling on the call game before said, Indians win, Indians win.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, see, I didn't forget that. Yeah.
True loyal team.
Hi, Mike.
I prefer these ones because
It's like a fireside chat.
no, and it's just the guys that are there every day. Guys that I can count on.
Same guys every day.
Yeah. Same seats.
Well,
Do not change that; it'll throw me off.
no, we're definitely not. So many injuries at different positions, hard to know where to start. But I wanted to ask you on the defensive line on a couple of things. Do you expect Ogba to play Sunday? We know he's missed 2 days with the back. And will Trey Flowers possibly return this year, or was his injury season ending?
The classic twofer, which was expanded, I think, to Alfer. I don't foresee having the same type of sentiment on players all the time, I promise. But our specific circumstances, how there's a lot of strong contributors that in this portion of the year are getting nicked. It's hard to even have a plan for who you're going to keep active and inactive because there's a lot. Agba is one of many that we're gonna take up to game time to kind of figure this one out. So that I couldn't say with all certainty that he's going to be out or in. It'd be more accurate to say maybe he's questionable. See that? But they're all working very hard to be with their team at this juncture. And then with foot injuries and stuff, there's like I don't know if you guys know the stats, but there's a lot of things going on in a foot. So I really haven't even begun to think whether or not Trey's going to be able to come back. I wouldn't rule anything out at this point, but we'll wait and see, which is kind of your guys' lives and my life right now together. So.
Have you seen enough from Teron this week to feel comfortable with him being able to go?
Yeah, I mean, I feel more comfortable than the last month of the season for sure, considering that was the first, that was the most that he's been able to practice since really the Patriots game, which is incredibly challenging. Something I haven't been around a player do that. In the process, he's gained a lot of trust from his teammates and the coaching staff. So I feel pretty good about his availability for Sunday. But unfortunately, I don't feel 100% on it because that would be too easy. Apparently, that's just the nature of everything. But what we are doing. There's a lot of these type of issues, but like on offensive line, there's a lot of other positions as well where we're conditioning ourselves as a team to be able to handle any sort of adversity because so many guys are in positions to step up and play. So I feel better about it than I have in the last month, but that still doesn't mean that I know.
Austin Jackson, he practiced a couple times last week and then hasn't since, and 3 practices since. Was there a setback there? Or?
No, it wasn't. Like I told you whenever we talked about that, it wasn't a setback as much as we liked how he was working. We also assessed that with the push-pull strain that incurs for offensive linemen and what an ankle can do to a player at that position if it's not properly handled. We were actually preventing any setback. We felt like the best thing to do was not put him in those situations until it was a little bit closer. So he's still very much involved, and we like how he's progressing. But that was a little proactive, trying to avoid a setback as we assessed it and looked at it once the week was complete.
Mike, on that same right tackle topic, did Brandon Shell give you guys anything to think about this week? Where now you and Matt, et cetera, Frank, have a decision to make about who your starting right tackle is, Little or Shell on Sunday night, or are you going back to Greg Little in that spot?
No, there was multiple people working at that right tackle position. Shell's done a very good job since he's been here. It's been admirable to see how he's immersed himself into the system in such a short period of time, which is to his credit. But what we have been, we'd be fools if we didn't prepare our offensive line to be versatile, considering what has gone on during the season. So, I think they all had a good week of practice. I think that you're not going to hustle me there, and I'm not going to reveal who's starting. But I do think that we're prepared for all those guys to play, and we'll be. They had a good week of practice, and I think those guys, whoever's starting at right tackle, will do a good job. And if they can't finish because of injury, then another guy will step up. That's what we're building and preparing to do.
Have other changes on the offensive line been considered beyond just returning tackles to help?
We rep all our positions like that. It's important during the season. I don't really necessarily put our business out on the street. I don't think that's fair to the players because it's can be taken out of context. But rest assured, we challenge the lineup each and every week because that's a principle of really how I want to run a team where you're not gifted anything, and guys are able to either earn or keep their jobs on the field, so we've been letting guys compete all week, and what you'll see in the starting lineup is the guys that won that weekly competition, but in that we've got a lot more versatility because we have more guys ready to play than we probably did at the start of the season.
What are some of the things that you have done or will do to in an effort to limit penalties overall?
So if there was an end-all like blanket, you'd probably do that. The way I approach it is I make sure to coach each penalty independently and give guys a little recourse on how they could have avoided this. If it's a holding penalty, you're looking at why that happened. Then you're looking at is someone moving their feet enough and pressing the block, because what can happen is your feet can stop moving, and then a defender moves, and you're trying to do your job. Procedural stuff a little easier, pre-snap stuff a little easier, but just in general, you have to rip the Band-Aid off and show the team the consequences of said results. How is the offense doing, or how is the defense doing as a team? How have we worked to get to the situation? Then what does that penalty do? That's the way I emphasize it. Is I just independently, but I do it as a whole team, so they can understand the ramifications and how we're not of the mindset of placing blame or pointing fingers, and I'll never sit there and take it out of our hands and blame any sort of officiating on stuff. Who cares if you agree with any sort of call or not, you coach that to try to avoid it in the future as best you can.
Mike, it seems a little risky on a Friday to have only 3 healthy corners. I know of your 5 safeties on the 53, at least a couple can play corner. But why are you and Chris not concerned about having only 3? And have you given more work to Tino Ellis this week and to Kalon Barnes just with the anticipation there could be an elevation?
No, it's not that it's not concerning, or it is. That's irrelevant. It's what's the best course for this team in the given moment. Are you capable in-house of handling it, or do you have to go outside of what you have? And that won't. It's not like we're going to handle every situation. No, we're going to use the guys here. It's more that with the assortment of versatile players that we have, we can kind of handle a lot of issues to a certain point. We are getting close to our brink in terms of how many we can afford, but we're still comfortable, and we have some guys that will eventually be coming back. So you have to really you're just doing the best thing for the team, and I feel very fortunate that we've made some good decisions in the scouting department as a coaching staff, that the players that we had on the roster are very capable. Henceforth, they're able to make plays, out there on Sundays, which is something that I'm very glad we had the depth we've had, because everybody's had to play, and that will make us better down the road.
Mike, just to be thorough on Austin Jackson, at this point, would you say the likelihood of him being activated before the end of the 21-day window is very close to 100%, if not 100%?
Ooh. What would Socrates say to that?
I'll recall my philosophy.
All right. Well, do you guys remember? The only thing that he knows is that he knows nothing. So, to say absolutes, there's you don't. I feel good that he's going to be able to contribute sooner than later. I don't to say exactly where that is. You're just setting me up to, that's a setup that I'm not going to buy. All right. My birthday, March 1983, not yesterday.
I didn't say 100%, I said close to 100%.
No, but I it's not just honestly as a having experienced this in my past, it's not just because the trainers and medical staff give a window of, hey, maybe this guy will. It's because you really don't know until person for person, and what ends up happening with those is the timeline is different in terms of, okay, well, you might not have that much improvement for an individual for 3 or 4 days, and then once you hit that threshold, then it's, you know what I mean? So it's kind of inexact. I know he's going to come back and contribute for us. I know he's very hungry to. We just want to make sure when he is back that it's not one of those yo-yo situations. Is the only reason for our conservative approach.
Kenny Pickett for Pittsburgh, he committed concussion protocol this morning, began practicing in full on Wednesday. Given everything this team has been through with concussion protocol, did it surprise you that Pickett was able to practice in full on Wednesday after Sunday entrance into the protocol?
I may be a rookie head coach, but I feel very, very secure and comfortable with the approach of, that's not for me to discuss what has happened on somebody else's team. Philosophically, I would never venture to try to be an expert at that. So there's enough. If you've seen our injury report, there's enough for us to worry about I'll let the Steelers worry about the Steelers, and at this point, there's nothing. I would be surprised if I'd be surprised by anything at this point.
Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate it.